Okay, so back here with some more Topaz, my bad. Got a white Topaz. And we have another white Topaz with a little hint of blue in there. So if you cut that right, that blue will shine right on through the stone. If not, it'll get blown away and you'll have a nice clear stone. I have several small pieces of Tourmaline. It's a nice sky blue. If I can get it to focus, it looks great against the table. Yes. Oh my God, get focused. That dot is on the outside. If that's a dot that I made for measuring, I'm not sure. Either that or it's a drop of wax. But you can see the sky blue color. We have a small semi-faceted green. I was starting that and it popped off and I never got back to it. Okay, then we have some chrome tourmaline pieces. Zoom out a little bit. Nice dark greens. This one's probably the chunkiest piece of them all. Lay cut real nice. Well, if I can get my fingers in front of the light, we'll be doing good. There we go. And these are mostly clean on the inside. This one is in that group. Yeah, I guess it is too. I thought it looked red on that paper plate, but it's definitely green. Okay. And there should be 18 carats of those from Tanzania. And we've got some gold beryl, I believe. I bought this and I was told it was tourmaline, and it could be. I think it's either tourmaline or beryl, so needs the test done. What else do we have here? I have a small zircon. Well, if I can focus, very small. 2.71 carats, nice and cheap. So I picked it up. What the heck? Some grassy garnet. That is a golden color. There we go. Now we're getting the light. Looks like it has just a hint of pink in there, but it cuts pretty clear gold. We have some aquamarine. Yeah, you can see the differences here. Not sure how many carats. It's not weighed and marked. We have a nice clear quartz terminated. It's got some good cutting area in there. Turning it around, it does look like the bottom third is no good, but the top 2/3 is, and it's actually quite large. It's a good 3/4 of an inch deep cutting area, and it's about a 1/2 inch thick. So quartz. Then we have another 2 pieces of very pale aqua, and I believe it's more of the gold beryl. So they're still dirty. There you go. Good picture of them. And we got this little beaut, 9.245 carats on his scale. Indigo white tourmaline. And yeah, one of my pride and joys. If I can get it to focus. I'm not used to this new phone. It don't like close-ups. There you go. Beautiful color. Well, if it'll focus on the dumb thing. There we go. It's clean. Let me flip it to the other end. And C-axis is pretty dang dark. So you're going to cut that flat. C-axis sideways, you'll have a beautiful stone. Just cut it with the right cut. I bought these and just planned on practicing doing recuts. So I was getting recut stones from stones that are popped out from gold and silver buyers. They pop the stones out of the rings and sell them in bulk, and you get them dirt cheap. So great for practices. You might find some that are ready to go, but like that little gold one there looks like it's in good shape. You get other ones, they're going to be pot-bellied, cheap stones. You cut them, give them a nice cut, you turn around and sell them at a decent price. So yeah, those are nice. And they were cheap, so let's see. Okay, that's all I've got out right now. I also have some of the brown dot wax that I didn't realize I had left. I thought I'd put all that in with my faceting machine, so there's some of that. Whoever gets this stuff will get that as well. And there's a little piece of tourmaline that I cut, and the light's not going to hit it right, so it's going to look like crap. Alright, so we'll skip that one, but what I wanted to show you was the opal. This is one of the opals that come out of there. I just put it on a wooden dop and cabbed it on my faceting machine. And it's got some decent color in it. I've done a lot of these, and they sold pretty darn quick. Just throw them on a little necklace, and out the door they go. And this guy, I don't even know without looking it up. I like the cut. It's just a simple round brilliant. A little bit of a modified design. Gives it good sparkle. Pretty sure this is a synthetic. I just don't know which one because it's not numbered and it was just sitting there, so that'll be in with it too. Alright, here is all the stones for recuts. We have a star sapphire. It really doesn't need anything with that. It's a little 6mm cab. We have that one. This one's definitely a recut. That, I believe, is tourmaline. This one, you don't see anything, but it's right there. It's a little 1/2 mil. Small. We have an interesting guy up here. A lot of these are just fine. I just got these all alright and in the bags and hadn't scoped them out. This one is a black tourmaline little cab. What do we have here? There we go. It's kind of punched in behind there. There you go. $1.725. Alright, this one is a really strange watermelon color. It's kind of chrome looking, but it's got the reds and the greens. It's kind of cool. And there we go. This one is a 1.62. And clearly a citrine. Nice looking color though. And another citrine. A little darker. Kind of a smoky gold. And I'm sitting there moving it around and the phone wasn't even pointed at it. So there you go. Now we had a nice bright orangish yellow citrine. And I'm not sure what this guy is without further examination. We've got a real light colored, almost a little bit of yellow. This is clearly citrine. You can get several recuts out of that or make some kind of a big pendant. It definitely needs recut. When talk about a pot belly, hard to show it in the bag, but you can see how thick that back end is, and it's not going to focus on it. Just not at all. I mean, this is like not as good a quality as I cut on my first stone, so it definitely needs recut. We got a little bit of tourmaline here, a couple of pieces. This was one piece and it was broken taking it out of the mount. You can get a couple of earrings out of that easy. And we got some more light lemon quartz maybe. Then we've got the white. I think that possibly Topaz. I'm not sure. Then we've got a nice dark green. Have to double check the RI on that guy because that don't look like that should be that. So we've already been down these three here. Okay, and then I've got a little bag of cheapy necklaces. Let me just throw them all in a bag. Okay, so here are all the, well, those are empty mounts. Here's all the pre-cuts that I have in my little display mounts. When they're really sharp looking. This, I believe, is the Root Beer CZ. That's on a 14 karat mount. Everything else, I believe, no, there's some gold. Most of them are in just cheap silver mounts. Got citrine, amethyst. This is the synthetic rutile. Yeah, Penrose tile, that's the name of that cut on that big stone. That's what it does for synthetic rutile. I mean, it's just an explosion. It does need polished. It's been sitting in a bag. These are all sitting together instead of individually wrapped. So there'll probably be some tables that need cleaned back up. We've got some, I'm not sure what this guy is. It's a synthetic. This was just a heart design, which it's not showing up in the camera for us. But, or not a heart, it's a cross. Here's some of that tourmaline. You can see the pale blueness to them. That's the tourmaline, dang. Topaz, blue topaz from Brazil. They're natural, and those were all river wash stones, so alluvial. We've got tourmaline speckled here and there. We've got a chrome tourmaline that I cut. And that little puppy's nice. It's a little heart. Well, that's a not a heart. Trillion. It's in a 14 karat mount, little necklace. Here's a couple of the opals that I cabbed on the fasting machine. They got a nice little bit of color, nothing extravagant, just had some people that wanted me to do some, and I did some, sold a number of them. Just a little ball there. Had a pair of aquamarines that was supposed to be a matched pair of earrings. They're not. You can clearly see one of them chipped and it got smaller, so I recut it into a smaller one, and Then the larger one is in a gold mount. This is a piece of topaz that's got a checkerboard top on it, which means it has some inclusions of one kind or another. We have a synthetic sapphire. That's a real nice color. That's those dark blue bowls that I have for sale. That's a piece of that. And this light blue one, I'm thinking that's the blue spinel. I don't know if I had any more of that for sale in the bowls. I might have cut it all. Then this big old giant monster back here. I believe it's 150 carats, 151 carats, somewhere's in there. I'll have to get it back on the scale and see. Clearly needs cleaned up. It's got more fingerprints on it than you can shake a stick at. You can see them real good there. And then we got just amethyst with a modified Portuguese. Definitely needs cleaned. But a lot of these are going to need recuts. These that are in this set are most of my first year stuff. So there's going to be some not so tight facets. And as soon as I started cutting better stones, I started replacing them, and these went into the bag, which is right here. So, yeah, so a lot of good size for recuts. So that's all going to be in there. That's my second favorite one, the rutile. This root beer CZ is just, the fire sparkle in it is just amazing. And they're both done with the same cut Penrose tile. Yeah, look that design up. If you've got something that needs more fire in it, this will light it the heck up. Okay, here is a couple of small pieces of blue topaz. They're in the water so you can see the color when they're polished. But that's the color of blues you get out of them. So they're really fun to cut. We'll stop here and go to something else. Okay, so we have 2 bags of natural ametrine. So amethyst, some of it's trine, some of it's kind of half and half. Supposedly natural, but that piece looks anything but. That looks, well, yeah, maybe. Anywhere they get heat, they're going to change color. So these ones are mostly good for faceting. There's some in there with some inclusion. So, you know, Ametrine's always a fun one to play with. And amethyst even makes it a little bit more challenging. So those are in the batch as well. Okay, so I didn't even bother mentioning these little cases. Awesome little cases for holding gemstone rough. I've got 4, 5, 6 of them. A couple of them's larger. The rest of them are all the smaller size. And they're awesome for the rough. Those go with it. I'll have them stuffed full of rough for the most part. So I just wanted to make sure I added that in there. Some of the synthetic sapphires and spinels that may have already sold that I posted earlier today will not be in this batch. If they've already sold, they're not included. If they're not sold, consider them in this batch. Okay, this little clip on over your phone so you can take pictures with your phone. You have a nice telephoto macro zoom lens, and I believe this one is a wide angle but still a macro lens. And I'm going to be throwing those in. It comes with this little pouch here to keep them in so you don't lose them. One more thing. We do have a bunch of empty, mostly used little stone holders. All the black ones are new, the white ones are used, so you can have them or we can throw them in the trash. It don't matter. They're available if you want them with the batch. Okay, let's start here. We've got quite a bit of CZ. We've got some white CZ, 229 carats in here, another 850 bowl there, and then up here we got a little bit of purple CZ, 144 carats. We have root beer, which is a nice brown, and we have some red CZ, which in this lighting you can't see that color too well, but let's point it up here. You can see it's a nice bright red, which, yeah, there we go. That's the color she is. Okay. And we've got some Nano Crystals, which I've got sitting with the CZ right now. It's a synthetic, real dark cobalt blue. I really wanted to cut some of this to see the color when she's done. I mean, look at that. They are nice. And then I ended up with a whole bag of practice recuts. These are all, I don't know, Indonesian or wherever they do them nice and cheap. Big old pot bellies on them. I figured that was great for doing some recuts, and I got those dirt cheap, so I took them, and so those are free with the rest of them. Okay, over here we've got some of my practice material that I used for practicing new designs. This is Angel Opal, I believe is what the guy called it. It's just a white agate, angel agate, that's it. Cuts and polishes pretty darn easy. Got a little bit of a pink tourmaline here, 2 little pieces. I've got a little bit of kunzite, or kunzite, however you want to say it. I have some Oregon sunstones with a nice amount of schiller in them. I've cut some of that stuff that comes out really sharp. I've got some Mexican opal. I just got this for cabbing around with, see what I could get out of them. They were nice and cheap as well. A lot of potch, but get little nuggets out of them. And this one here, fluorite. So I've got some, let me hold my phone, I'm sorry. Some varying colors of purple fluorite. So if you ever wanted to cut fluorite, here's 4 pieces, and they're nice big chunky squares. Okay, so we've got some champagne citrine, which is a nice golden brownish yellow. They cut brighter than that looks, so it's more of a light golden brown. Then we've got some Rose de France. They're amethysts. Okay, so next up is the aquamarine. We have 2 separate bags here because I was working on the smaller set. I bought these, gosh, I believe at the Faster's Frolic in Franklin, North Carolina, and I had customers wanting aquamarine for birthstones, and so I was cutting earrings and small rings and pendants. Got some really nice color. These are tumbled super fine, so you can actually see what's in them before you start cutting so you can find the inclusions and trim those out. See, I paid about $3 a carat for these. I might have got just a little bit, or paid a little bit less than that, because of the amount of stuff that I was buying at that time. But it was right in that neighborhood. You can see here I'm showing 75 carats or 15.15 grams, 31 carats or 6.31 grams. And here they are in the bags with the weights on them now. Okay, we have some large Smoky Quartz. This was a massive pillar piece, fully terminated. Matter of fact, here's the termination coming up on that piece. And I was faceting that, and it decided to stress crack and fry out. So I was going to cut one of them doorknobs that I've been watching people do. We have a little bit of Smoky Quartz here, little greenish color. I believe this went with this batch of these 3 stones. It's a green tinted Smoky Quartz. It's real pretty. We got this piece here, real clean inside too. Let's see if we can get a little focus on that thing. Thank you. So it's deep enough you can cut some real nice stones out of the smallest piece. Bigger piece, you can pretty much cut whatever you want out of it. And these guys, the sky is the limit. You can see down in there, that is perfectly clean. And this one is the same. The back side is curved in, so keep that in mind. It's not one big giant flat piece. So it needs to be cut. These 3 pieces are Topaz, slightly blue, mild blue, and blue. This thing, I cut one just like it. These are from Brazil. They actually pulled these out of the river. They're naturally blue. They're not heated. And they cut a real nice pale blue stone if you get the color in the right spot. Actually, that almost showed a perfect color when it was there. It's slippery because my hands are wet from wetting the opals. Where's the color? There we go. It's gonna mess with me, but it's about that pale blue you see on the left hand side there. It's not a deep blue, it's a light blue. Looks really cool. We got a little piece of white topaz here, and okay, that is rose quartz. So when I find the morganite, I'll let you see that too. So that's the rose quartz. Alright, that's all I've got in here for now. These are all for sale, and I would like to see, I've had several people ask me about putting in a bid for the whole lot. So I figured I'd make this video, even though it's really long. Feel free to give me a bid. You can drop a message down below, or you can message me on Facebook in Faceting Finds or in Labtastic. Thank you.